relent on its efforts to bring peace in the region, the southeastern region. Speaking during the event to mark the 2024 West African activities at Brigade in Obinze, Imo State, officers during the event were celebrating a success recorded in 2024. The commander, Artillery Brigade Imo State, Brigadier General Usman Lawal, highlighted the success of the brigade, which he said, such as kidnapping, armed robbery in the region. A lot is happening on our political space this afternoon, and we must talk about it. At the same time, the police is expressing its readiness to combat kidnapping and other forms of criminality in Nigeria. The statement, of the forces spokesperson Olumuyiwa Adejobi highlighted the successes recorded in the fight against criminality. According to him, operatives of the Nigerian police force have intensified efforts resulting in the rescue of numerous victims and the apprehension of several suspects. A lot is happening in our political space. So let me bring you up to speed on the happenings this afternoon, the headlines. Before we proceed, remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 081 38 39 7740 or 081 39 25 6742 or 080 65 79 6599. On the headlines, Warri Refinery now operational, says NNPCL. Saudi's $1.2 billion investment to create more jobs for Nigerians, federal government. Concerns over growing population of destitute in Oyo, Ogun. Niger border towns live in fear over brewing road. Why Buhari's attempts to conduct population census failed. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project urges Tinubu to publish assets. Ohaneze hails Tinubu, picks Umahi as 2024 Igbo Man of the Year. Land dispute. Anambra community leader accuses Kingsmen of kidnapping. Nigerian system intolerable, unfit for human habitation. Farotimi. Wike replies orderly, accuses ex-governor of psychophancy. States spend more than aimed, may continue reliance on FAAC income. These and more will be the cause of our discussion on this particular edition of Political Views on EBEONADI 103.5FM. And the first story we have for you on this particular edition is a Warri Refinery now operational, says NNPCL. The group chief executive officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kyari, has said the 125,000 barrels per day Warri Refining and Petrochemicals Company in Warri Delta State is now up and running. Kyari, who disclosed this during a tour of the facility on Monday, said the plant was up and running despite not 100% complete. Many people think these things are not real. They think real things are not possible in this country. We want you to see that this is real, he said. Kyari was accompanied on the tour by the Chief Executive Officer of Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Amen. Commissioned in 1978, the WRPC is located at Eban, Uvie, and Ubeji, Warri, with the aim of supplying markets in the south and southwest regions of Nigeria. The petrochemical plant produces 13 million tons per annum (MTA) of the polypropylene and 18,000 MTA of carbon black. Still on the happenings on our political space this afternoon, Saudi's $1.2 billion investment to create more jobs for Nigerians, federal government. The Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, on Sunday said more local jobs are expected in the coming year as a result of Saudi Arabia's drive to ramp up investment in key sectors of the economy. Edun said this follows Saudi's SALIC International Investment Company's acquisition of a 35.43% stake in Olam Agri Holdings for $1.24 billion. The coordinating minister of economy affirmed this after meeting President Bola Tinubu at his Ikoyi home in Lagos. The deal, which closed on December 23, 2024, values Olam Agri Holdings at $3.5 billion. Olam Group will retain a majority stake of 64.57% in the agricultural unit in a deal first announced in March 2022. Edu, accompanied by his counterpart in the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu, had led a delegation to Saudi Arabia to follow up on various investments pledges made to Nigeria by Saudi businesses in the past few visits. He said the visits resulted in a $1.2 billion investment by the Saudi Agricultural Livestock Investment Company in Olam. The investment, he argued, is expected to increase forest inflows and the jobs and boost the economy. Edun explained, and they say what we have brought back is investment. What we have brought back is a foreign exchange. We have brought jobs for Nigerians. If you look at the demographics of Saudi Arabia to the extent that they are investing abroad, they are not going to be exporting their people. They are not like some of the other big populous countries of Asia. So clearly, where they invest in jobs for Nigerians. So that's the simplest way I will put it. Of course, the Olam transactions was a long time in the works. All know that the Saudi Agricultural Livestock Investment Company has just around December 23rd increased its investment in Olam by a $1.2 billion additional investment. Now, still on the happenings on our political space this afternoon, Niger border towns live in fear over brewing woe. Some residents of communities in some states that share border with Niger Republic have expressed fears over the spat between Nigeria and its neighboring country. Newsmen report in a Christmas Day interview, Niger's military leader, Brigadier General Abdurrahman Tishani, accused Nigeria of colluding with France to destabilize the junta-led nation. He claimed that Nigeria has provided a base for French soldiers near Lake Chad, adding that training camps had been established for terrorists in Sokoto, Kebbi, and Zamfara, all aimed at destabilizing Niger. Nigerian authorities are not unaware of this underhanded move. Tishani was quoted as saying by AFP, but the federal government denied the claims, with National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu describing Tishani's allegations as baseless and false, while Minister of Information Muhammad Idris said that the allegations were unfounded and a diversionary tactic aimed at covering his Tishani's administration's failures as tensions between both neighbors soar. Residents of border towns in both countries who denied Tishani's claims called for an urgent resolution of the role, expressing fear that it could truncate the atmosphere they've lived in over the years. Some of the residents in the border towns in Sokoto State appealed to the governments of both nations to resolve their differences and ensure the protection of ordinary citizens. While reacting to Tishani's allegations in Gudu, local government area of Sokoto State, Muhammad Ilyasu said the residents of the community had never seen French soldiers or other military in the area. I have been the Magaji of this community for over 30 years. By the grace of Allah, I haven't seen the French army in this place. I have never seen the Nigerian army here, not to talk of the French army. I want to appeal to the government of the two nations not to involve the masses in politics. We have been living peacefully with our neighbors in the Republic of Nigeria for years without any rancor. We don't want any problem with them and we don't intend to have any. So they should please think of what to do and resolve it amicably. Muhammad Atin, a citizen of Niger Republic who sell cattle at the Rua Wuru market in Tangasa, local government area of the state, also dismissed the allegation of the French army within the environment. Atin said he had been selling cattle in the market for over 20 years, hence he had no reason not to know what was going on within the vicinity. Still on our political space this afternoon, why Buhari's attempts to conduct population census failed. Now, computer mogul Dr. Leo Stan Eke has offered insight into how several attempts by the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari to conduct a population census for the country failed before handing over to President Bola Tinubu. Eke, chairman of Xenox Group, made the revelation while warning a group of his mentees recently to guard against blackmailers and petition writers who deploy crooked tactics to undermine competitions to gain undeserved business advantages. According to him, competitors flooded the federal government and its agencies, parastatals, with numerous petitions. By the time the immediate past government finished addressing these petitions and awarded the contract for the supply of computers needed to conduct the census, it was too late for the Buhari administration to proceed with the project. Eke said this was why the last administration had to hand over the project to the then incoming Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. Eke alleged that a computer company boss was the blackmailer who deployed the services of two popular law firms owned by prominent senior advocates of Nigeria and some social media blogs to execute intensive but frivolous petitions, litigations, and media blackmail. Their nefarious activities, Eke continued, forced the Buhari administration to delay awarding the contract to Xenos in time. He told his mentees that Buhari found the petitions meritless and proceeded to award the contracts to Xenos. The contract was executed within the agreed timeline, but it was too late for Buhari to continue with the census. You are listening to Political Views on EBEONADI 103.5 FM, and the next story we have for you this afternoon, Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Projects urges Tinubu to publish assets, will be the next course of our discussion. While when we go on this break, we'll go for a short break. When we'll come back, we'll continue on all that is going on in our political space. Please stay with us.
It's time to get ready for the most anticipated event of the year, Agdo Gigi Beauty Pageant. Date 30th December 2024. Your voucher is your ticket to an unforgettable night of top entertainment featuring the sensational Dorime Dance Crew, comedy, traditions and culture. It's premium or nothing. So, dress to impress. And the hosting of the event is the one and the only MC Hamatan. Abdul Gidi Beauty Project. Date 30th December 2024. Time 5 p.m. Venue Residency Hotel Leofino Gidi. Call 080-6329-0766 or 090-1356-6263. For table reservations, get your vouchers now. Get your voucher for table 100,000 naira, VIP 50,000 naira, and regular for each person 5,000 naira at the port of entry. We are grateful to our sponsors, Kemp Chota Homes Limited, Lagos, Castro International Limited, Holland, SVA Properties Limited, Abuja, Ebonadi FM, Okidi. Be part of the magic. Luxury or nothing. The challenges of documenting memories in the 21st century is gone. When you have Ebona, the 103.5 FM, here, what are you celebrating today? Birthdays, wedding anniversary, traditional wedding, chieftaincy conferment, or fala, etc. Approach Ebona, the 103.5 FM, Ogidi today to document your events. Ebona, the 103.5 FM offers you live coverage of your events on radio and social media, video and photo coverages feature on magazines, photo books, and others, news coverage of political and other events. Take this offer and receive a complete coverage. For more information, call or WhatsApp 08065796599 or you visit Ebona the 103.5 FM Ogidi opposite Ogunike Boys inside the Ovin Residency Hotel Ogidi. Man is a political animal. That's why we all have our views on politics. Political View comes to you at Ebona, the 103.5 FM with Martin Ifan Shukumi is here every Monday, 3 o'clock p.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. It's all about the day-to-day activities in the Nigerian political space. Views of political actors from various political parties on political process, views of labor leaders, and most importantly, your views. Views of the common Nigerian. Tune in to Ebona at 103.5 FM or you join online via mixlr.com/gistfm every Monday and Saturday. What are your political views? Keep a date.
That's right. You're welcome back to Political Views on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. I remain the one and only Martin Epan Shuku Ekeze. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 81 38 39 7740 or 081 39 25 6742. You can equally reach us on 080 65 79 6599. And the next story we have for you on this particular edition of Political Views is Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Projects urges Tinubu to publish assets. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has urged President Bola Tinubu to direct the Code of Conduct Bureau to publish his asset declaration and encourage other top government officials, including Vice President Kashim Shettima ministers, state governors, and local government chairpersons to do the same. In a letter dated December 28, 2024, signed by his Deputy Director, Kolaware Oluwadare, Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Projects commended Tinubu for his statement during his first presidential media chat, where he expressed the willingness to consider asking the CCB to release his assets. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project described the president's opposition as a significant development that demonstrates intent, willingness, and commitment to leadership on transparency. In the letter, Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project emphasized that publishing asset declarations would curb corruption by limiting opportunities for public officials to abuse their positions. Secrecy in the assets declared by high-ranking public officials to the CCB continues to facilitate corruption at all levels of government, especially in the country's 36 states, the Federal Capital Territory, and the local governments. The letter read. Transparency and openness will also increase public confidence in the integrity of high-ranking public officials and ensure that political authorities are honest when they provide services to the people. It added. Still on our political space, the next story we have for you is Ohaneze hails Tinubu picks Umahi as 2024 Igbo Man of the Year. A faction of the Apex Igbo social-cultural group Ohaneze Ndibo yesterday said that the group picked the former governor of Ebonyi State and Minister of Works David Umahi as the 2024 Igbo Man of the Year. In a statement in Abakaliki, the Secretary General of the Shede Ibe-led faction of Ohaneze Mazi Okechukwu Isigozoro said that after critical evaluation and independent assessment of public office holders of Igbo extraction within the 2024 framework, Umahi was picked as Igbo Man of the Year, beating the likes of Hope Uzodinma, Benjamin Kalu, and others to the position. He equally thanked President Bola Tinubu for being the first president to remember Ndibo, adding that his administration's impactful recognition of the southeastern region marks a landmark shift not witnessed in 55 years since the conclusion of the Nigerian Civil War in 1970. He noted that Ohaneze Ndibo employed a rigorous model of evaluation on critical areas, which includes infrastructure development, job creation, insecurity solutions, democratic inclusiveness, and historical and current antecedents, adding that Umai stands tall among other people. Isiguzoro further stated that Ohaneze extends their commendation to Governors Peter Mba and Francis Nwifuru of Enugu and Ebonyi states, who exhibited exemplary governance by allowing their elected local council chairmen full access to the benefits that stem from local council autonomy, thereby promoting transparency and accountability. The statement reads, the Apex Igbo Social Cultural Organization of Haneze Ndibo takes the momentous occasion to express its admiration for President Bola Tinubu. His administration's impactful recognition of the southeastern region marks a landmark shift not witnessed in 55 years since the conclusion of the Nigerian Civil War in 1970. The next story we have for you this afternoon is land dispute. Anambra community leader accuses Kingsmen of abduction. The vice chairman of Obunago Achala village in Enugu Agidi community, Njukoka local government area of Anambra State, Ozemena Okeke, has alleged that he was kidnapped on 2 occasions by members of his kindred because he refused to sell community lands. Okeke, who is also a community leader, stated that his kinsmen had threatened to kill him He disclosed this to journalists at his country home in Obunago, Achala on Sunday, December 29th, 2024. According to him, he was kidnapped twice between 2023 and 2024 and credited his survival to God's intervention. Apart from the ransom paid to the suspected kidnappers, he alleged that four of his king's men were collaborating with the suspected kidnappers to eliminate him due to his opposition to their plans of selling parts of the community land to the highest bidders, while the community and its people live in poverty. He recounted, "My first experience was on October 17, 2023. It was during the initial period when the road in front of my house was being graded. They claimed I had sold the land to someone, but I did not sell any land. Thinking that I had sold a piece of land, these people invited kidnappers to abduct me so that I would produce the money they suspected I had received from the land. These kidnappers seemed poor because they took all my foodstuff, including gari, palm oil, salt, and other items. They also checked my phone and discovered I had only 22.00 in my bank account and no other accounts. They wondered where the money they believe I earned from the alleged land sale was, concluding it was a mere allegation. They eventually freed me." According to him, the second division was in August 2024 after a peace meeting. He alleged that he just finished the meeting with his people when the kidnappers invaded his home around 4 p.m. He added that they took me into the bush to Urum in the Okan North local district before proceeding towards a shrine in Ukuru. I was held for 3 days before they released me. However, the chairman of Ubunago Achala, Emeka Emenchata, denied knowledge of the incidents or any links with the suspected kidnappers. He explained that Okeke and others had been suspended for allegedly sabotaging the corporate existence of the Ubunago Achala village due to their alignment with the Ezinano Oka community over controversial peace deal concerning their land. Ementa stated, "I have never heard of this kidnapping issue. To me, it seems like a drama. It's a forgery. I had not heard of it anywhere, but Okeke has been known for this kind of behavior," he stated. The next story we have for you this afternoon is Nigerian system intolerable, unfit for human habitation. Faro Timi. Human rights advocate Dele Farotimi was overcome with emotions on Sunday as he decried that Nigerians had built an unfit country, causing many to flee the nation. Speaking on Sunday, Farotimi attributed his freedom to the unwavering support of Nigerians who stood by him during his ordeal. "We have become victims in this country that we have managed to build. I told you why we are all running away. I told you how we were all running away from Nigeria because we have built an intolerable country unfit for human habitation. I have called it an evil empire," he said as he wiped tears from his face with a handkerchief. You know, because of what we have collectively tolerated, we have lost our country and we have become slaves, he said. Farotimi reflected on the collective voice of Nigerians that he said saved his life, attributing to his freedom to the unwavering support of Nigerians who stood by him during his ordeal. "We stopped being human because we became Nigerians. They divided us and we fell for it. Because you wouldn't see me as a Yoruba man, you spoke for me. Because you wouldn't see me as a Christian, you spoke for me. Nigeria couldn't happen to me because you spoke," Farotimi said. Farotimi continued by emphasizing the power of unity in the face of oppression. "You found your voices, I became you, and in our collective, you couldn't be silenced," he said. Farotimi was recently released from a prison in Ekiti State following his arrest on December 3rd, 2024, by officers from the Ekiti State Police Command on charges of defamation and cyberbullying. The arrest stemmed from allegations made by renowned legal luminary and the senior advocate of Nigeria, Are Afe Babalola, who accused Farotimi of defaming him in a 116-page book titled Nigeria and Its Criminal Justice System. According to the police, the book alleged that Babalola and other senior advocates of Nigeria had corruptly influenced Supreme Court justices These claims led to Farotimi being arraigned in Ekiti Magistrate Court and later facing 12 additional charges filed by the Inspector General of Police Kayode Ebotokun at an Ekiti Federal High Court on December 6th. The next story we have for you on this edition of Political Views is Wike replies Odili accuses ex-governor of psychophancy. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has fired back at the former governor of Rivers State, Peter Odili, saying an elder statesman should not be a trader and a sycophant all the time. He asked Odili what he was still looking for after serving as governor for 8 years. Wike, who was speaking at the special Thanksgiving service organized by Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly, Martin Amowolo, at the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion in Port Harcourt yesterday, said it was unfortunate